Welcome to This Week in Weiss Schwarz. We'll be talking about Weiss Schwarz's news and cards of the day. Sorry about last week's episode. It was very long. Lots of important information in it though, but we're going to try to keep it short today. So like and subscribe, all that stuff. Moving on. We're going to start off with the English news, starting off with the Bushi Rumble Online. The VODs have been uploaded to the official Bushiroad YouTube channel. If you want to see some matches that were featured, you could go ahead and check them all out now. They are separated by different regions, so find the region that you're interested in and go from there. So remember in last week's episode that I mentioned that the international release of the JP version of Tokyo Revengers is going to contain some art changes? Well, we have some more information on that. There are going to be a total of 28 cards changed in the booster box and 9 cards that are changed from the trial deck. Again, if you want the quote uncensored version of Tokyo Revengers, you could just purchase the domestic Japanese version of the set. As of recording this and as of writing this script, there is no word that there's going to be any changes in the English edition of Tokyo Revengers, but let's be honest, they're probably going to happen. If you've seen the censored version of Tokyo Revengers, you see a lot of bright lights and really extreme close-ups of people's faces. And if you didn't know that there was a censored version of Tokyo Revengers, well, now you do. The reason they are censored is because of the manji that is prominently featured in the manga and the anime. If you don't know what a manji is or what it means, just Google it. I'm not even going to show it as a just in case. They're replacing the art to something more enjoyable to look at as opposed to just a huge light streak covering up the manji. They changed the art entirely. And technically, if you're a full set collector, you're gonna need the Japanese version as well as the international release. I am curious to hear everybody's opinion, but my opinion is that this really isn't that big of a deal. Yes, they are removing a culturally important kanji to the Japanese and the Chinese, but you have to remember that in the United States and other parts of the world, the kanji means something else. Yes, it means things to the Japanese and Chinese, but it doesn't mean that to the rest of the world. Although it is a good idea that we are having this conversation and to try to bring a mutual understanding, but it's honestly going to be difficult with the current climate that's happening in the United States and elsewhere. But from a business standpoint, it's a lot smarter to change the images, especially the way that they've done it for these first 2 cards that we've seen, as opposed to attempting to explain the cultural significance of this symbol. Because let's be honest, you cannot trust Americans to attempt to learn another country's cultures. Americans are actively hostile of learning other people's cultures. We are the same group of people that refuse to use the metric system and would literally use anything else to measure with. Literally anything else to measure with. Also, let's be honest, in the grand scheme of things, this isn't affecting the game. The cards still do these same exact card effects. The cards have the same series code. You're just not getting the manji on the art. This isn't like Cardcaptor Sakura JP, Cardcaptor Sakura English. Also, if you're really concerned about the art changes, just purchase the Japanese edition. The domestic Japanese edition, remember that. And with that out of the way, let's talk about Tokyo Revengers. This set is going to be released on May 14th in both the Japanese and English editions. The trial deck will contain 2 SP cards and 8 triple rares. The booster pack is going to contain 100 cards and 52 parallel rare cards. The set distribution is on the screen right now. There will be a total of 23 super rares, 8 triple rares, 14 of the set specific rare TRV rares, and 7 SSPs. The SSPs are being shown right now. Other than that, we don't really have anything else, so we're gonna go off to the JP news, and we're gonna start off with Revue Starlight. Yeah, remember that franchise? We have information on Revue Starlight, the live Edel Delight Portrait Booster Set. This is gonna be released in late March. No specific date has been given. There will be a total of 27 cards, 27 parallel rares, and 5 SP cards. There will be 11 cards with new text in this set. There are going to be a total of 5 box topper PR cards that are overframe rare cards that are key visuals from the stage play. Okay, so there's 5 of them here, so that's probably going to be the art on the cards. If you don't know what a portrait booster set, reference this video over here at the top where we open one on the channel. There is the DeCapo one, there's the Assault Lily one. Long story short, they get the actual voice actresses or the performers for a certain stage play and they put them on a Weiss card. Again, Go watch that video. And with that, we are now off to the cards. We are going to talk about one card in Project Sekai. This is Noticed Heat Shiho. She states that on play from hand, this card gains 4k5 power and the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn. During this card's battle, neither player can play backups from their hand, and Climax combo. When this card reverses an opponent in battle and you have Rhythm that stays in the chest in play, you can pay 2, ditch 1. Look up to the bottom 5 cards of your opponent's deck. Choose up to 2 climaxes revealed and place them in the clock. Ditch the rest. The climax is a 1k1 and a gold bar when triggered. Alright, this effect is kind of a coin flip because you do need to check your opponent for damage. I do say that before anyone who has ever been, you know, this might actually hit. I do like this, and I want to say that when Love Live Superstar came out, there is this event over here that is guaranteed damage, uncancelable damage. When the Sakura came out, I thought that was the outlier. When the event in Superstar came out, I was a little suspicious. With this, we are officially in the age of uncancelable damage. So with that, we're now going to go over to the first reveals of Bang Dream, the 5th anniversary set. So for the 5th anniversary set, I did give out all the set information before, so we're not going to cover that right now. Just a heads up, it's a lot of cards. Second off, the traits. There are 3 traits. There's music, there's the band trait, and anniversary. All of these cards interact with either anniversary or the band they're featured in. So with that, let's get started. We're going to start off with Because You Are There, Pareo. Her ability is during your opponent's turn, if the damage dealt to you is not cancelled and this card is in the front row, look at the top card of your deck. Either keep it at the top or mill it, and accelerate at the start of your climax phase if you are level 3 or higher and you have 2 or more anniversary or Raise Soiling characters, you can put the top card of your deck into your clock. Play 1 Tears in the Closet Choo Choo from your waiting room onto the stage. That card states that on play from hand or the effect of the previous Pareo, you can heal. Climax combo. When you play all members at the session, if this card is in your front row, you can pay 1, ditch 1. If you do, all of your other characters gain the following ability. On attack, mill the bottom 2 cards of your opponent's deck. If you hit a climax, burn 2. We currently do not have the climax, but it most likely is going to be a 1k1 and an arch when triggered. Most likely. This is pretty solid. The Pareos do not need to be in the front row for her accelerate effect to be live. You bring out any of your missing choo-choos. What is cool is that the choo-choo effects stack. Thank you, Risa Sumugi. So if you have a full field of these, each choo-choo is going to have an on attack mill 2, potential burn, mill 2, potential burn, then you trigger. That is 12 points of potential damage, not counting your attack triggers. Also, you're milling 2. That is really low chance of you hitting a climax. You can pair this up with another card that doesn't have a climax combo as a just in case, like a secondary finisher, such as this restanding layer, or if you really like milling things, this Mashiro. But to keep it in theme with the deck, this layer will work just fine. Especially since Raise Solen is green-blue, it makes more sense for the layer to be in your deck because it interacts with a lot more things as opposed to the Mashiro. Now, here is the combo that people are excited about. Road of Blue Roses Yukina is on play heal and climax combo. When this card attacks, if you have a place where we will reach 1 day in play and 5 or less cards in your hand, perform one of the following effects. Reveal the top card of your deck. If that is a Roselia, Anniversary, or an event called Linking Bridge for Thoughts, you burn 3. Or, after this card's attack, if the character in front of this card is reversed, you can put the top card of your stock into your waiting room. Burn 2. The climax is a 1k1 and an arch when triggered. Then we have Rebellious Spirit, Mitake Ran. When this card is played from your hand, you heal at the end of your Encore step. And climax combo, on attack, if you have Stay As It Is in play and you have another Anniversary or Afterglow character, you burn 1. Then you top check up to 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Return up to 2 cards and then you mill the rest. The climax is a 1k1 and a gold bar when triggered. Alright, so the Yukina, absolutely phenomenal. Depending on the situation, you would either want to take the chance and burn 4, or you could pay the stock and burn 2. It's very dependent on the situation. If your opponent is out all climaxes, by all means, go ahead, burn 4. You're gonna win anyway. But if you're playing a little more conservatively, you can essentially pay 1 to burn 2. But remember, the burn 4 is before the attack and the burn 2 is after the attack. Now the Mitake Ran is pretty good as well. On attack, burn 1, then you Mocha effect. Now, am I replacing my Mochas with this? I want to say no, but I'm going to try it out just to see how it is. You are optimizing damage for your swing. With one attack, you are doing up to 4 points of damage, which is pretty nice. And I know what you're thinking, but Lunchbox, in my live journal fan fiction, it says that Mitake, Ran, and Yukina are alone backstage. Ran is getting ready to perform with Afterglow. As she is ready to leave, Yukina struggles to find the courage to say what she always wanted to. Ran, good luck tonight. Ran responds with a, I do my best every day. Yukina, finally finding her chance, responds under her breath, I know you do, because I watch you every day. Ran starts to blush, her heart pounding faster than I Knew It by Afterglow. Is it because you cannot keep your eyes off of our performance? Yukina walks up to Ran and holds her hand. Whispering into Ran's ear, Yukina says, because I'm watching you. So anyways, versus Yukina has Act, pay 1, send this card to your memory. Top check up to 3 cards from your deck. Add a character, then you ditch a card. Then, Climax combo, memory. Alright, I'm just gonna cut like super quick. This is super confusing, so make sure you kind of listen up. I will try to explain it to the best of my abilities near the end. If this card is in your memory, after your Mitake, Ran, or Yukina that I mentioned before attacks, you can put this face up card in your memory face down. That is the cost. Declare your deck or your waiting room. Look at the zone declared and choose one place we will reach one day or to stay as it is. Then you choose the climax in your climax zone. If the 2 cards have different names, swap them. Shuffle your deck if you searched. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, super simple. After you finish attacking with the Yukina or the Ran, you either search or salvage one of the corresponding climaxes. Then you target either of the 2 climaxes that's in your climax area, and if they have different names, you swap them. Even simpler, I'm just gonna tell you how to play this card. You get the opposite climax that you have in play because it will only work if you have the opposite climax in play. This is super, like, insane, but I absolutely love it. Here's the play I'm thinking. You double Yukina, 1 Mitake and Ran. You play the Yukina climax, you attack with both Yukinas first. At the end of the second Yukina's attack, you activate the memory effect where you flip her over, declare the waiting room or your deck, you snag the gold bar because you already have the Yukina one in there. Remember, they have to be opposite names. And then you swap them. So now you have the gold bar in play, attack with the Ran, burn 1, then you Mocha. Hopefully that's game. So with double Yukina, it's hit 3, burn 2, hit 3, burn 2. Then with the Ran, it's burn 1, hit 3. Again, not counting your triggers. That is 14 points of damage. Like, come on, one of them is bound to stick. What is completely effed about this effect is that if you declare your deck, the climax that's in your climax zone goes into your deck. So you're not losing out on a potential cancel there. This is phenomenal. This is absolutely great. Lore-wise, they have that sort of friendly competition going. Effect-wise, this is just absolutely phenomenal. Split climaxes for sure, and hell, you could run 3 arches and maybe 1 gold bar since you are essentially ripping out from anywhere. Just don't trigger it. That is where we're going to end today's episode. I did want to talk about Hatsune Miku in Magic the Gathering, but that's what they want me to do. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Thank you to all of my channel members that are scrolling up over here. If you want to be a channel member as well, just hit that YouTube join button. It's $1 a month. It's that easy. Thanks again. Catch y'all later.